the last 2 years, a lot of activity on the ground. Also quite a big housing construction project with 177 houses completed in Uganda and handed over, all occupied now. In Tanzania, 339 plus one. We had one that came along a bit later after I think a grievance. So a big housing project, but it's worth noting that there were a couple of things that the physically displaced households, so people who have their primary dwelling on the line, or on that 30-meter strip, is something like 4% of the total number of households impacted. So the rest of the households are what's called economically impacted, so either their land, their crops, their trees, or other structures other than their dwelling is impacted and compensated according to the land process. I've been at a number of housing handovers, and actually they're finished now, but they've always been very nice events, and I think big events in the lives of the people concerned. Yeah, so maybe next slide. And I think it's true to say in both countries and in all cases, the replacement house is a substantially better quality and more durable type of house than the structure it's replacing. I mean, these are some before and after pictures. And again, I think you're familiar with that we have the house is equipped with a solar panel and batteries and inverter system, with a rainwater collection system, which seems very simple and obvious to me, but when I drive around in both Uganda and Tanzania, you don't often see rainwater collection, even though it's a very good way for bridging periods of time when there's a shortage of rainwater, and the external latrine and external kitchen. In terms of the project itself, and I'm an engineer, so I kind of like projects at the end of the day, so you can't really build a pipeline if you don't have line pipe. So line pipe is a pretty simple product. It's in the case of Eacop, it's a pipe that's 24 inches in diameter, so 2 foot in diameter. It's 18 meters long, and then we keep it long so that we don't have, each time you have to join the pipe, you weld and make the joints, so the normal standard length will be 12 meters, we use 18, it means we have ultimately less welding and less joints to do. It's coated in green. It's a kind of, it's called fusion bonded epoxy. It's done in the factory where it's made in China. And so these are more like, these are rectangles, 300 by 500 meters typically, rectangles every 100 kilometers. The civil works, including in Uganda, but maybe Lawrence will talk about that a little bit. But the civil works are basically done, so we clear that land so that the camp and the piping yard can begin, and the camp construction is now beginning. There are 5 really in Uganda and 12 in Tanzania. And then in the middle of the pipeline route, so kilometer 700, we have this thermal insulation plant. This one that makes the pipe like a thermos flask. There's a big factory in Nzega district in Tanzania, and actually as we speak, it's just beginning now to produce these insulated pipes. So its job is also, we have this flow of 100 kilometers a month coming in, is also to coat 100 kilometers per month the pipe with this insulation before it goes to its final burial place along the right of way. To say, just go back again, sorry. So right now, altogether, we have in Uganda and Tanzania 22 active sites. So active sites now where construction work is beginning, and altogether, I think we have about 4,000 people across the 2 countries on those 22 sites, and that will increase up to 8,000 or so when we reach the peak of activities, which should be by the end of this year. We'll be at our sort of plateau activity.